Prodigal Son. There was a man with 2 sons, and the younger one said to his father, "Father, I would like my share of the property. Will you give it to me?" So the father divided this estate between 2 sons. Shortly after, the younger son turned his share into cash and went off to a distant land, where he soon spent it all in wild and reckless living. A severe famine came upon the land, and the young man was in desperate need. So he went and attached himself to a local farmer who sent him into the fields to tend pigs. The young man would have gladly eaten the husks that the pigs were eating, as no one gave him anything to eat. But suddenly he came to his senses. "My father has hired servants that have more than enough to eat, and here I am starving to death. I will go back home to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against God and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your paid servants.' So he started for home, to his father's house. While he was still many ways off, his father saw him coming and was so happy that he ran to meet him. He threw his arms around his son and kissed him. The young man said, 'Father, I have sinned against God and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father called his servants and said, 'Quickly, fetch the best robe and put it on my son. Put rings on his fingers and shoes on his feet. Bring the fatted calf and kill it, for we will have a feast today. My son was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and is now found.' And the celebration began. Now the older son had been out in the fields, and as he came near the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. He called to one of the servants and asked what was going on. The servant answered, 'Your brother has come home, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he is safe and sound. There is a celebration.' The older brother was angry and refused to go to the party. The father came out and pleaded with the young man to join the celebration. 'I have slaved for you all these years,' the older brother said. 'I have never disobeyed you. Yet you have never even given me a baby goat for a feast with my friends. But my brother comes home after spending all his money on wild and reckless living, and you kill the fatted calf for him.' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But how could we help but celebrate this happy day? For your brother was dead and is now alive. He was lost and now at last is found.'"